Everyone's mind is today indeed your favorite day?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it is the best day so far in 2021.
Matt, total nailed it on the forecast.
Yes, he had that yesterday on his forecast, and it was going to be, and it is.
All right.
Until tomorrow.
Well, we've clarified that. Live in the now. Let's get started, everybody. We begin with developing news from our nation's capital. This is a big deal. With just a few hours remaining, Congress passed a measure to avoid a government shutdown. The stopgap funding would keep the government open through December 3rd. It's now on its way to President Joe Biden for his signature. Meanwhile, back here at home, it's not just kids complaining about school lunches, it's administrators too. They say the supply chain issues have made it more difficult for them to find the food and products to serve your kids. Brandon Simmons takes us to an Akron high school to explain the issue.
It's 11 a.m. at Elliott Community Learning Center in Akron, lunchtime. And it's a simple menu today: corn dogs or yogurt parfaits, some sides, and milk to drink.
Normally, we'd have 5 or 6 different things that they could choose. We just can't get enough product in to give that kind of variety out to all the students.
Ryan Folk is the Nutritional Services Specialist for Akron Public Schools, in charge of ordering and distributing food to dozens of schools across the district, a job made more difficult as the national supply chain has become strained.
There's shortages on flour. Whoever would have thought that? Paper companies are not having a problem. Plastic cups. Getting enough product in to feed 22,000 or 23,000 students is not that simple at the moment.
Schools are serving more meals than ever before, with the federal government covering the tab until June of 2022 as part of the USDA's National School Lunch Program. That means more orders being placed, but manufacturing operations have yet to reach 100%, and delivery drivers are still hard to find, limiting options for school districts to choose from.
Let me use pizza as an example. Before, a year ago, I could order anything, 10,000 different kinds, and now I'm down to 2 choices. You don't know currently if you're going to be shorted on your delivery until it shows up.
Fortunately, Akron utilizes a large food distribution warehouse to stock a week's worth of food options. For smaller districts, the effects are much greater.
Even if they tell you 2 or 3 days in advance, that does not give you enough time to get a different product in.
Now, the options are going to be slim for a while. Folks says he doesn't expect for the supply issues to be fixed over the next 6 months. So who knows how long this will last, Betsy. And of course, we all know that many of these meals are very crucial to families and children, a lot of them struggling during the pandemic. And for some of them, this is their only meal. Absolutely.
It is a very big deal at that. Now, you mentioned the food supply shortages with the food. What about employee shortages? Because we're hearing about, we need workers in all fields at this point. Are they able to keep their staffing levels up?
Yeah, that's something that's been difficult, too. They're doing OK in Akron, but they're short-staffed as well, just like many other places. And in one extreme case I want to tell you about, in Philadelphia, there was a school where the principal had to order pizza for 400 kids because they didn't have enough staff. Their staff didn't show up. So, I mean, it's really a dire situation for a lot of these school administrators.
Goodness sakes. Well, certainly something to talk to your kids about. Make sure you're prepared for, just in case you have to pack those lunches. All right, Brandon.
Pack a lunch if you can.
Got it.
Well, next on your feed at 5, Lordstown Motors is reportedly nearing a deal to sell its production plant. Taiwan's Foxconn, the world's largest electronics manufacturer and a supplier to companies like Apple, is set to buy the former GM factory. Amani Abraham has been following these developments throughout the day. She's live down there now and joins us with more on this story. Amani, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Jay. Yeah, details into the deal are limited and no comment, at least for now, from Lordstown Motors. But we do know that there could be a deal that's officially kind of released very soon. Bloomberg reports that Foxconn is close to buying the Lordstown Motors plant. It's been a bumpy ride for the plant. Lordstown Motors has been dealing with a number of issues. Less than a week after Lordstown Motors said the company may not be able to continue operations, the CEO and the CFO resigned from their leadership roles. Later in July, the company did get a boost by announcing a private equity firm had invested $400 million. Lordstown Mayor Arno Hill is optimistic about what the new deal can bring.
If you take the checklist, funding was probably at the top, and looks to me like that funding issue has been resolved if this goes through.
Back in June, Lordstown Motors gave a tour of its plant and rides in prototypes of its endurance trucks. Officials said they would plan to begin building trucks in September and deliver the first ones to commercial customers in December. Still no word yet on the potential value of that deal, but we're going to have more coming up tonight at 6. Amani Abraham, 3 News.
All right, Amani, thank you very much.
Meantime, the CDC is strongly urging all pregnant women to get the COVID-19 vaccine after more than 250,000 cases of COVID in pregnant women have been reported. Right now, the CDC says only about 1 in 3 pregnant women across the U.S. are vaccinated, and that puts them at significantly higher risk with the virus. We talked to a Cleveland Clinic obstetrics and gynecology specialist today to hear her thoughts.
We have data looking at women who got the vaccine between 6 weeks of pregnancy to 19 weeks of pregnancy. And we've seen that there was no increase in the rate of miscarriage in these women compared to the baseline rate of miscarriage in the country.
Well, in August, the CDC says 22 pregnant women died from the virus and is also warning COVID can increase the risk of issues with the baby, including preterm birth, stillbirth, and admission of infants to the ICU.
Facebook had to answer to Congress today about what it knows about Instagram impacting teens' mental health. The company is accused of knowing the social media platform is dangerous for many teens, but doing little to protect them. Lawmakers are citing internal data from a whistleblower, as well as an investigation by the Wall Street Journal that claims Instagram can damage mental health and body image.
Many of the teens we spoke to in the reporting of the story described an experience of realizing that the app at times made them feel worse about themselves, but lacking the ability and self-control to put it down.
I want to be clear that this research is not a bombshell. It's not causal research. It's in fact just
I beg to differ with you, Ms. Davis. This research is a bombshell.
The global head of security for Facebook claims the data is misleading and has been taken out of context.
Well, the internet giant has delayed launching a platform just for kids 13 and under, which I'm down with. You know, I think the social media thing for the little kids, that might be a little bit aggressive. But for the older kids, body image is a big deal when you are a teenager, when you're in your 40s. It's hard when, I mean, what do
anybody,
what gets reaction? I can post life-saving information on my Instagram account and I get 0, right? 0 likes or whatever. Not that my life is ruled by likes, but I post a picture of me in a fancy dress and I get thousands of likes. And it's like, that's not reality. I spent a really long time putting myself together to take that one picture. And by the way, there was a filter on there, I admit. It's not reality.
Well, just what you the example you just gave kind of feeds into this idea that social media can be dangerous for all of us.
Yes.
It's not just children. I don't need research to tell me what my own eyes have seen over the last 10 to 15 years.
The difference is you have life experience, you have a backbone, you know who you are. Kids are just starting to get all of that put together. So when they see somebody who is their age or somebody that they look up to who, you know, posts these pictures that are very sexy or these pictures that are very, you know, outlandish or very posed, they feel that's what they have to do too. And that can mess it up. And if somebody goes, oh, that's not very cute, that's not what it should be, that's where the damaging part comes
particularly in. When you are placing value on self based on likes. And that concept, we've talked about the idea that goes away. I really wish it would.
I can name 10 adults right now that is their whole mission is to get those likes.
10? Hundreds of thousands, if not millions. I mean, we need to take that aspect out of our society because it's not realistic and it makes kids automatically feel inferior if their posts are getting fewer likes than the popular kids in their grade. We don't need to see how many people approve of a specific photo. It's a popularity contest and it's damaging. It's not good for society. I hope Congress does the right thing here. Okay. After back-to-back home games, your Cleveland Browns will hit the road for Sunday's game to play the Minnesota Vikings. Browns come in 2-1, Vikings 1-2. Interesting subplot here. this is Kevin Stefanski's old team. So when I tell you there will be a ton of familiarity on both sides, believe me. Here's my list of 3 things the Browns absolutely must do to come back 3-1. First, and this is a no-brainer, I mean, this is really going to be number 1 on their to-do list every week. Maintain a heavy run presence. This is a run-first football team. The Vikings defense ranked near the bottom of the NFL in yards allowed per rushing play. They give up almost 5 yards per rush. That is a perfect mismatch for the Browns because the Browns love to exploit that. They average more than 5 yards per rush, and that is nearly best in the NFL. Run, run, and then run some more. Number 2, the Browns have to continue to get after the quarterback. The Vikings like to throw the ball. In fact, they are 7th in the NFL in passing yards. So, unleash that deadly combo of Myles Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney. Have him, or both of those guys rather, chasing Kirk Cousins all afternoon long. Kirk Cousins, by the way, very efficient this year. He's thrown 8 touchdowns to no interceptions. They must pressure him like they got after Justin Fields. And finally, keep the special team train moving. So often road games can be very difficult for visiting offenses to score touchdowns. The crowds make it difficult. So if the Browns send out Chase McLaughlin to kick field goals, he just has to keep doing what he's done all year long. He did it Sunday, a perfect 4 for 4, including 2 long ones. So far this year, Chase is 5 for 5 on his field goal tries, 9 for 9 on his point after tries. Keep making those kicks. Do those things, Bets, and I think you come back 3-1 and in really good position.
It's just exciting to watch this team. There's people to root for, and there's, teams within the team to root for on both sides. It's really exciting on Sunday.
We a lot of folks like the pass because it's sexy and a big home run pass.
Right.
And we have Beckham, and when he comes back, we'll have Landry. But I'm telling you, the backbone of this football team is the run.
Oh, man.
I mean, you've got 2 of the best in the NFL.
Yeah, he tucks that ball over to Chubb or to Hunt, and you just don't know what's going to happen.
No.
And you just hold your breath and watch, and every now and then, man, they just take
They break them. It is fun to watch. So I think if the Browns can reach about 150 rushing yards, that's the magic number, I think they come back with a victory.
I was thinking more like 153, but okay.
I'll take 153.
Okay,
I'll take 153.
Next up for us, a costly Christmas. There is new information on not only possibly paying more for gifts this year, but
no.
Fake trees too.
Everything is going up.
It is.
Then removed. New details on Britney Spears and her conservatorship as the case over her estate could be removed altogether. We're going to tell you how soon that might happen. That's all coming up in Pop Rate when we come back.
And we're also, of course, keeping an eye on that forecast. You did well today, Matt.
Yeah, I'm not too sure there's a better place in the country to be right now than Northeast Ohio, honestly. I mean, comfortable humidity, that will continue tonight. Tonight could be the coolest day of the fall so far. We are dipping down into the 40s tonight. We'll take you through that. And rain returns and it stays. We've got the next 7 days for you after the break.
How's that, Matt? Is that better? My IFB's on the other side.
Earlier today,
and I mean, I can, but when I've done that in the past, they've said that they're too close. Yeah, so I always put this one on my right hip. Well, you know what? I can switch. If you mean put my mic on my left lapel, oh yeah, I can absolutely do that. Yeah. Yeah, that's why I do think it sounds better when I have a tie on.
I don't know what that's all about.
Well, and what I'll do now is I'll just put my IFB box on my right hip and my mic box on my left hip.
We'll switcheroo.
Yo, switcheroo. Check 1 2, testing 1 2 3. Is that holiday music? That's holiday. That's holiday music. It makes you almost get nervous because, oh wow, I should be doing shopping.
Yeah.
It's getting close.
Or it makes you just cringe.
Yeah. Well, I like the music, but it does kind of create anxiety. I've got gifts to buy.
When it's 72 degrees and sunny outside?
Yes, because I know it's coming. Shoppers are going to be heading out in mass, and it's coming soon, and they're going to be looking to buy these Christmas gifts.
But if you are already looking ahead to get a Christmas tree, listen up. The American Christmas Tree Association says they could experience a shortage of artificial trees, with some already being priced over 20% regular value. Experts say if you need a new fake tree this year, buy it now, and also expect prices to continue to rise, especially on other decor items.
Yeah, I mean, why not? Inflation rate, I looked just a little while ago, from 2020 to 2021 in August, prices of everything in general, on average, 5.5% higher.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, some items are much higher. Cost of a gallon of gas is 50% higher than it was 1 year ago. So you factor all this in, everything costs more. But you know, I'm a real tree guy. I don't know if your family's fake or real.
My father's a firefighter. We're a fake family.
Oh, yeah, I think we talked about that before. I started pricing fake trees because I've seen some really pretty ones.
Oh, they're beautiful.
They are not cheap.
They aren't, but I'll tell you what, man, that cleanup at the end of the thing, you just pop it, flip it,
put it in the
push
box,
it down, throw it in the basement. Done.
That's very good.
That is nice.
Now, you know, they're behind, and in manufacturing, you can't find them in the greater numbers that we had last year, so you know the deal.
Did you hear about the shipping, too, is all jacked up all over the world?
Oh, I have,
There's
yes.
like 60 ships sitting offshore of L.A. right now, waiting to come into port. They can't get in. There's not room. There's not people. There's all that stuff. So just hang in there, everybody. There's going to be a lot of delays. Order early. If you see it, get it.
Yeah.
We have more on that coming up at 5:30. That's why I know about it.
Yeah, we do. Everything. We're waiting for everything. There's one thing that I can think of that we don't have to wait for, and that's the forecast. Happens every day around 5:18, no matter what.
Instant gratification is what we call that.
Yeah, it's nice. We run a very tight ship. Our schedule is always on. Matt, your weather word today is inventory.
Oh, okay.
Good luck with that.
That's going to be tough.
Look at that sunset. Well, it's not even sunset yet.
It's the clouds.
It will be in about a month and a half, Betsy. That looks really nice behind you.
Oh.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we have to dust behind me. Our monitor's pretty dusty up there. I just noticed that. But that's, you know. I'll get to it this weekend.
Other duties as assigned.
Right. Temperatures right now, much like yesterday, right? A little bit warmer down to the south and the west. We've got the 70s, 60s out in Ashtabula County. Ditto that Geauga over towards Portage County. It is just downright comfortable outside. We are creatures of comfort, right? And this is thermostat setting. It is just gorgeous. It's still in the 40s tonight. That is an indication of where our temperatures will fall. They can never fall below the dew point. If they reach the dew point, you get 100% saturation there. That creates the ground fog. So as temperatures dip tonight, may have some more patchy ground fog, those isolated country areas as you get away from the cities. Otherwise, just a chilly night. I think we're down into the mid 40s for many of us. Some of us may even see upper 30s. Look at the sunshine we have. There's clouds. It's a crummy day up in upstate New York. It's crummy down to the south and the west. But for us, we continue to have this very slow moving pattern that will bring more sunshine in here Friday. Another beautiful day tomorrow. But then waiting in the wings of that, we've got rain 6 days after that. It is going to be a rainy stretch, going to feel very Seattle-like around here starting late Saturday and then especially starting Sunday as this system slowly wobbles its way into the Ohio Valley. It's a cutoff area of low pressure, nothing steering it, all the steering currents way off towards the north. You see the jet stream's kind of a mess, usually is this time of year. It really gets moving as we get into October, especially latter half of the month. That will bring those stronger storm systems in. But for us, we continue to settle in with one more cool night as that high pressure brings that cooler air. So in terms of fall-like mornings, if you like them, tomorrow morning we've got 45 at Hopkins. That's our prediction. But notice how we warm up. We bring more moisture in, and overnight lows aren't going to be quite so cool. So if you enjoy the fall nights, tonight's a good bonfire night. Tomorrow morning will be really the last of the cool. Your National Design Mart Hour by our forecast, some high clouds moving through tonight. If we see those move through, our temperatures may not dip quite as much, but I still think a chilly morning tomorrow. Beautiful, almost a carbon copy of today. If you're taking inventory of the way our weather's been over the last couple weeks, you'll notice that we're really going to start to warm things up over the next couple days. And that's reflected in Union Home Mortgage 7-day forecast. 85% I've got it at for Jay's best day of the year tomorrow. After that, it's going to go downhill. Otherwise, we're dealing with showers moving in on Saturday. Sunday looks pretty rainy around here. Monday, too, and then more scattered showers next week. We'll be back with more of Jay's best things after this.
Hey, Matt. We're going to be talking about Britney Spears and the conservatorship could potentially end.
Turn inside out.
You would basically upend the entire.
I do.
We would. It is time right now to give you your Thursday pop break, and we have some Big Brother news.
And there's a bombshell from the Grey's Anatomy cast. But first, Kara joining us with the latest on the Free Britney movement. I've been seeing this all day today.
We're getting close.
Yeah, it's the story everyone's been talking about. After more than a decade, Britney Spears' conservatorship could officially be coming to an end. A California judge ruled yesterday that the former Princess of Pop is free from her father, Jaime Spears' direct control. According to Britney's lawyer, she would like an orderly transition and a plan in place to terminate her conservatorship altogether in the next 30 to 45 days. In the meantime, a court-assigned accountant has been appointed as co-conservator through the end of the year. However, the termination process is expected to take effect after the next hearing in November. And Ellen Pompeo versus Denzel Washington. It's an odd matchup, but apparently it all went down on the set of Grey's Anatomy. Pompeo, who stars in the show, says she was giving direction to her co-star when Washington, who was directing the season 12 episode, told her not to tell him what to do. To which she responded, "This is my show, this is my set." Ooh. She went on to clarify that she has the utmost respect for him, and after their run-in, everything was smooth sailing for the two, and that it was an amazing experience. I have a hard time believing that. For the first time in the show's 23 seasons, Big Brother has crowned its first Black winner. Wisconsin attorney Xavier Prather took home the win with a unanimous vote from all 9 members of the jury last night. Big Brother follows 16 house guests who live in a home under 24-hour surveillance without any access to the real world. They compete in challenges and form strategic alliances in hopes of avoiding elimination each week. Xavier was a member of the Cookout Alliance, formed early on with 5 other Black contestants with the hope that one of them would take home the prize. And it worked. With his win, Xavier is now $750,000 richer.
Ooh, wow.
And last but not least, McDonald's is celebrating the 40th anniversary of the Mcrib. The popular sandwich debuted back in 1981, and it's making its comeback November 1st. So Jay and Betsy, if you guys are into that, mark your calendars for that.
Yeah. Not a McRib guy.
No?
No, not a McRib guy.
I'm stunned.
Yeah, not my thing.
I thought the McRib was amazing when I was like 16.
Really?
I haven't had one in a long time.
I've never been a fan. And it comes and goes so often, you never know when it's going to be there.
I know.
So
if I'm going to get barbecue, I'm going to get real barbecue.
Right?
Most likely.
Yeah,
get the authentic stuff.
Yeah.
By the way, back to the Grey's Anatomy thing. I'm usually not one to pick sides, but I'm going Team Denzel all the way on this one. Like, whenever someone drops this is my set and this is my show, I don't even care what the issue is, they're automatically wrong.
Like, how do you have the guts to say that to Denzel Washington?
Right.
I don't understand.
Hold on, let me pull the Academy Awards out of my ears so I can hear what you're saying.
Right.
What? Denzel.
That's crazy.
He's the boss.
Yeah.
I don't care what set he's on.
Well, apparently Ellen Pompeo thinks she is, so.
Right?
Yeah, I like the whole tweet on the other end, like, oh, everything's great, we're best friends, it's amazing.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah, no way.
Thank you, Key.
Sure thing.
Well, still ahead for us here on What's New, shortage issues continue, and it's now hitting the trucking industry. We're going to explain what's being done to help fix it as demand skyrockets.
Plus, white paint might be the answer to lowering your energy bill. This is a fascinating story. The new paint researchers are claiming keeps buildings cooler than an air conditioner.
And later, a new initiative is using music to help kids navigate through life. Kara will be back to explain how the program works beyond an instrument.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
And right now, it's time to get you caught up on 3 things you need to know here at the bottom of the hour. Lordstown Motors is reportedly near a deal to sell its plant. According to Bloomberg, Taiwan's Foxconn, that's the largest electronics manufacturer in the world, is set to buy the former GM factory. The company, Foxconn, supplies products to companies like Apple. No word on the potential value of the deal.
Minimum wage workers in Ohio are going to be getting a pay raise next year. It will increase to $9.30 an hour for non-tipped employees. That is a 50-cent per hour raise from the current minimum wage. Tipped employees will get a 25-cent an hour raise to $4.65. The increase goes into effect January 1st.
Great news there. Also, the CDC issued an urgent advisory for pregnant women saying they really should get the COVID-19 vaccine. This comes as more than 125,000 pregnant women have caught the virus. More than 22,000 have been hospitalized with COVID-19, while at least 161 pregnant women have died from COVID-19. 22 of those deaths occurred in August alone. So far, only 31% of pregnant women have been vaccinated. And with that news, we welcome you back to What's New. Along with Betsy Kling, I'm Jay Crawford. For so long, the information was kind of incomplete.
Yeah.
Some doctors were saying pregnant women should stay away from it until we have more information. So a lot of pregnant women heeded that advice, and they did. Now it appears that the science is pretty much on the side of, if you're pregnant, get the vaccine.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, always consult your doctor. I don't know, in all the times that we've talked, if I ever told you what I wanted to be when I was a kid. The very first job I ever wanted to do.
A truck driver.
Yeah, right.
I remember that.
Did we talk about it?
See, Bets, I'm here for you. We did talk about that.
Well, I got to tell you, now might be the time for me to fulfill my dream. Except there could be shortages of trucks and truck parts. A crucial link to our supply chain is the trucking industry, and they're no exception to the shortage issues.
Yeah, the first part of the problem is getting parts to fix the trucks. There's a part shortage. So that has many trucks sitting in warehouses. There's also a lack of new trucks to sell. That's because of the chip shortage. And a demand for technicians and drivers is really slowing down the whole chain. The country is down now some 60,000 truckers and truck mechanics.
They can't get the materials. They don't have enough labor to build the parts that go on the truck. So all those things are now kind of happening like a perfect storm.
Well, repairs that would take less than a week now take months. Some drivers are losing up to $2,000 every day that their rig is not on the road. And you slow down the trucks, it slowed down the entire logistics industry.
Sure.
All in all. And of course, it's not just, grocery stores and all of that stuff. It's things like FedEx and UPS and the Postal Service, they're all slowing down. We've been telling you that the demand for supplies is in overdrive and is going to be for a while. We kept telling you before, start your holiday shopping now. This is just another reason why you want to get all that shopping done and over with.
No question. I mean, just about everything we buy at some point in time spent time on a truck to get to us.
Absolutely.
So if you had started your own trucking company, what would this trucking company be called?
Probably... I think we talked about this when we talked about our CB handles.
Yes. Your CB handle was?
Motor Mouth.
Which I love. Breaker 19, we got Motor Mouth rolling down.
That was it.
271.
There are probably truck drivers still to this day who have driven through Copley, Ohio back in the 80s who thought, I swear there was a little girl on the CB that was saying she was Motor Mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
That was
Your
us.
parents didn't fight you on that handle?
I think my dad actually gave it to me.
Way to go.
I won't tell you what his was.
All right. No, I think you did tell me off the air once. Yeah, probably not safe for air. Also worth mentioning, and Betsy talked about this, right now there's also this shipping container.
Yes, look at this picture.
So there are on both coasts these huge backlogs, Bets, of these shipping containers. Many of them have hundreds of thousands of items. Look at the containers on one ship.
Those are like the big
Those
ocean
are the big ones.
going
now,
ships.
In LA, there's nearly 60 container ships that are just anchored off the coast there waiting. So the problem is they just don't have the space to store these products. Because remember, once everybody went back to work, orders skyrocketed for a lot of things. And as those orders are delivered now, they're coming in, but they're coming in faster than we can get them into warehouses on these coasts.
Yes.
So they wait for space.
Absolutely. I mean, and it all kind of stacks up. By the way, I was just doing some very fast research, and it takes as little as 3 to 5 months to get a CDL to become a truck driver. So
you could be driving big rig by March.
Maybe I could do part-time. I just think it's fascinating. I've always loved driving anything, lawnmowers, cars, trucks, whatever, boats, anything. And I've always wanted to try driving a truck.
There was a romance to being a truck driver for me too. I just thought the whole idea of your little cab back there and you could go sleep and watch TV.
Like
I thought that was great.
One of my high school friends is a truck driver, and she's got just the best stories to tell.
Very good. This next story is just fascinating. White paint, Betsy, it appears, could be the answer to cutting down our energy bills. Scientists at Purdue University have created the world's whitest paint, and experts think it could actually eliminate our need for air conditioning. Here's how it works. The idea was to make a paint that would reflect sun away from a building. The university says their paint reflects 98.1% of solar radiation while also emitting infrared heat. Since it absorbs less heat from the sun than it emits, a source coated with this paint is cooled below the surrounding temperature. That's fascinating, and it does it without consuming any power at all.
Science!
Science is fantastic. So here's what researchers are saying, that if you cover 1,000 square feet of a roof with this super white paint, it would actually result in cooling power of 10 kilowatts, which they say is more powerful than most air conditioners.
Right. I have to tell you, people here in Northeast Ohio who've been through winters with me over my years here will know that every now and then I throw out the word albedo.
Albedo?
Albedo.
Is that like
that is the
apart
energy
from albino,
reflection?
white?
No.
No?
Albedo is the energy reflection properties. So a high albedo surface will reflect the sun's energy.
So we get that during snow.
In the atmosphere and in the world of meteorology, there is nothing that has higher albedo than fresh fallen snowpack.
Sure, it's pure white, right?
Well, it's close. Probably not that white.
Yeah.
But
so, you know, I've always wondered why all roofs are black.
Yes, that is a very good question.
I mean, can we start a roofing company that just makes white roofing shingles?
Everybody's going to have to wear shades forever.
Yeah, it's going to be bright.
Get brighter up in here.
Especially if you're in the air and you're flying over.
The pilots are like, stop.
But, you know, it could help with our cooling bills.
Yeah, that's a very interesting thing.
Yeah.
You never know what you're going to learn here on What's New. Yep. Well, still ahead, inspiring and motivating. How a new initiative at the Boys and Girls Club is helping kids fast track their lives. That's coming up.
And it is Throwdown Thursday. So many yummy drinks and snacks come with the fall season. Coming up, we're going to test not only our taste buds, but knowledge on treats. That's Throwdown Thursday. But first, here's our MC for Throwdown Thursday, Matt, and he's going to give us our weather in a jiffy. Hi, Matt.
Double duty.
Got roped into that last minute. Apparently Mike Polk is on vacation this week or something like that. But guys, for Jiffy today, we mentioned not a better place to be in the country than right here in Northeast Ohio. So this is what I would like to happen. In the office, you get sucked up in a suitcase, and it just plops you outside. There's no need to travel. This is the dream.
What is this magical movie?
I'm not sure.
It looks like an old episode of The Twilight Zone.
If you know, post it on our 3 What's New Facebook page. We'd love to figure this out.
Love that forecast next.
The man's mind is a trap. So this winter, stay tuned because we know Jay Crawford will be using the word albedo often.
I love that.
His mind is a trap. You tell him things, you know, a year or two ago, and he remembers it.
You remember there was a truck driver? I wanted to be a truck driver as a kid. Who remembers that? My parents remember that because that's all I talked about. But my sister
Betsy,
probably doesn't.
I care, Betsy.
Oh, jeez.
And you bring it up every day in the weather meeting, so we all know that. But other than that,
remember that one time I wanted to be a truck driver?
Right, we do. All right, getting on to the forecast. If you like chilly mornings, tomorrow's the morning for you. Tonight we're going to get down into the 40s. Tomorrow morning waking up, I think mid 40s for many of us. Notice the warming trend though. Saturday morning, cool, but not quite as cool. And then we're in the 60s Sunday, Monday on into Tuesday. That's because we're bringing moisture in here. Moisture holds that heat, right? Whereas the dry air does not. Look at the temperatures tonight though. A crisp night, we're back into the 40s. I think we'll be in the 40s by about the midnight hour, 50s just before that. That's how things work number-wise, but it will be comfortably crisp tomorrow because we still have a high pressure pushing that cooler air in. It's pretty hot as you get out towards Chicago. If you have travel plans just out towards the west, it's in the low to mid 80s out there. So markedly different air mass west of us, but we continue to settle in under clear skies. Off towards our north, this is our weather pattern tomorrow. Pretty clear tomorrow. This sunshine will continue to filter on down. I think a beautiful Friday. We'll have a little uptick in temperatures. Should be up into the low 70s tomorrow. Beautiful day. But then we settle into a very rainy pattern for about 6 days, or at least 6 days in a row after that, as this system kind of meanders in. There's not a lot of organization to it, so we're going to have on and off showers starting very, very late in the day Saturday. I think much of Saturday's dry, but Sunday looks to be the day we get a slug of moisture in here. The steering currents are way north, so nothing is driving that system anywhere. In terms of precip, though, we could use it because we've had a lot of dry stretches. The last 6 or 7 days have been dry. We had rain 6 or 7 dry days before that. So Cleveland has a surplus on the year. Akron, you could use some rain. A little bit more rain is needed down towards areas near Ashland, Mansfield. We're running about 2 to 3 inches below average. The newest drought monitors out, they have seen a huge helping monsoon rain this season. In fact, one of the top monsoon rains for the Four Corners region. They still need it out west. Notice the drought kind of in the plains as well. And then locally, Wayne County, areas of southern Summit County, northern Stark County. We could use some rain. We're now in the dry category in terms of droughts. That's a level 1 out of 5. We can make that up pretty quickly. And I think we'll do that. Your National Zymark big picture look at how this system will evolve. Here's Saturday evening. We're dealing with rain on radar off towards the west. We'll see if that evolves in here Saturday, but late day rain expected. Sunday, this low pressure is just sitting on us, on and off rain. Not a washout, but not a pretty day either. And eventually this low pressure will kind of meander its way real close to us over the course of the next week. So how's that translate in your Union Home Mortgage 7-day? Again, 73 tomorrow. Enjoy it because we turn rainy after that. And it'll stay kind of rainy with temperatures near 70 degrees over the next 7 days. Jay, I upped that percentage. After our conversation, it's up to 99%.
Yeah, I think that's a safe bet right now, but I don't know about Saturday. I don't know if that's going to be my favorite day of the year or not. We'll see. Okay, for years, music has been used to heal and to inspire and even motivate. And thanks to a new initiative, kids at the Boys and Girls Club are expanding their knowledge of music's capabilities. This is very important. Beyond learning to play an instrument, our Kiara Cotton has this story.
We've seen it all over social media. Teachers using popular music to help their students learn and connect more with their lessons. But what if that same thought process was applied to everyday situations?
Music can make life better.
That's Kim Shimo, the music program director for the newest initiative at the Boys and Girls Club, Opening Track.
So a lot of times when you think of music, you think of singing and dancing, playing an instrument, and you should. But there's also another facet of music that we seek to provide here.
The Opening Track pilot program is active in 4 clubs throughout Northeast Ohio and helps students to navigate life's challenges, teaching them how to impact their moods and boost their productivity.
We not only seek to provide them with music activities, but teaching them to be their best selves and using music as a means and a mechanism to facilitate that.
With the help of community partners such as the Music Settlement Group, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the Cleveland Orchestra, and so many more, the program is offering its students the best Northeast Ohio has to offer. According to the Grammy Music Education Coalition, nearly 4 million students in the U.S. don't have access to music education at school. But with Opening Track, for an hour a day, 4 days a week, students and their teachers focus on 8 core lessons.
So we just looked at all the benefits that music can provide, and then when we said, how could we construct a program that would deliver those benefits.
Opening Track was created by New Zealand native and musician Jeff Tanner, who, after learning that Cleveland ranked among the highest cities in the nation for child poverty, wanted to use his passion to make a difference. And already, his idea has been widely well received by the community and even has the support of an A-list celebrity. Grammy Award-winning artist Ludacris says Opening Track's mission is vital to child development.
And without music in my life, I don't know where I'd be today. So I hope these kids coming up will be just as inspired by music as I am.
And the inspiration is already in action. As a part of the program, several students were selected to help provide background vocals for the Opening Track Collective, a music group created by Tanner and local artist Chad Hoffman as a way to help fund the program.
You know, music's changed Northeast Ohio's fortune.
Kiara Cotton.
And shouldn't it do the same for its kids?
3 News.
We have some news just into the newsroom within the last 30 minutes. The lineup has been released for who will be performing at the 2022 Super Bowl halftime show, which we'll be seeing right here on NBC. 5 artists, including Mary J. Blige, Kendrick Lamar, Eminem, Dr. Dre, and Snoop Dogg will all be at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California for the big game, February 13th.
Wow. 3 of those performers are on my, all-time greatest performers list.
Gosh.
M, Dre, and Snoop.
And Mary J. Blige, you just don't mess with her.
No, Mary J's in a class all her own.
Queen. Oh my gosh. So very excited about that. That'll be great. Well, next up, pumpkin spice and everything nice. Aside from the calorie side of things, we have some numbers behind the yummy fall favors and favorites coming up in Throwdown Thursday.
Then 45 years of service, the special send-off for this local man after tending to the needs of thousands across Northeast Ohio for so many years.
Yeah, it is Throwdown Thursday, and today we're doing things a little different. We're using props.
Yeah, things are taped down and we couldn't see. There are a lot of really good fall drinks out there. We know that, and treats as well. So today, Matt is going to test our knowledge on the nutritional facts for some of our favorites. Matt, Betsy, and I have our buzzers.
Yep.
That's Jay's. That's
All right.
mine.
There are 5 questions, and they're worth 1 point for the first question, 2 for the second, and so on.
Right.
So you get that last one right, and you're getting the lamp.
So we're going to start our taste test now. This will be. No, I'm just kidding. Jay has a fear of taste tests. We are not going to go that route. Okay, guys. First one. This is calorie related. So Dunkin' Donuts and Starbucks both have a pumpkin spice latte. We know that. Which one has fewer calories? Dunkin' Donuts or the Starbucks?
Ooh, that's Betsy.
Betsy, go ahead.
Starbucks.
Incorrect. Jay, do you want to give this one a
try? I think that leaves Dunkin' Donuts. So.
Very good. That's 1 big point for you.
I always get out of the gate hot with that first meaningless 1 point.
Yeah.
And then it spirals downhill from there.
I'm not setting that trend, but yeah.
Okay.
So Dunkin's medium with skim milk has 340 calories compared to Starbucks 390, right?
Wow,
so
they load up the calories at Starbucks.
50
What
more.
about if we
Watch
did
out.
skim milk?
Not sure. I don't have that answer. All right, I do have a bonus point for you. Jay, this is going to throw off the scoring. This is a bonus point. This could serve well. 340 calories, which is in that, latte, is equivalent to eating what? A cheeseburger or a grilled cheese sandwich? Go ahead.
That would be a grilled cheese sandwich.
Absolutely not.
So now I'm even.
Betsy, do you want to try?
I'm going to go cheeseburger.
That's right, and we actually have one here.
Woo! Wow. I don't know where we got
from
that.
the Wheel of Death, isn't it?
I know where we got it from. The Wheel of Death, Jay Crawford.
It is.
That thing has looked like that for 20 years. That's from our cafeteria.
By the way, you can use that as a hockey puck if you decide not to eat it.
You're going to want to wash your hands. You're going to have a rash in about 5 minutes. All right, for 2 points, a slice of pecan, or when I was down in Georgia, it was pecan or pecan, whatever. Pie has 599 calories. A slice of apple pie has 528 calories. Which one has more sodium, apple or pecan pie? Go ahead.
Pecan pie.
No.
Wow. I'm going to go with apple.
Very good. And look at this prop we have.
Whoa.
A delicious one.
Oh, now wait. This actually
not
looks
from the Wheel of Death.
pretty good.
It does look good. Why does it look good?
Did you make it?
Because you brought that in.
Not at all. It's from our neighboring grocery store. I don't think they're a sponsor, so I can't say it, but Giant Eagle did a nice job with that one. For sure.
They got some free sponsorship.
Right, that's okay. According to Fitbit, it has 474 milligrams of sodium. Pecan has 288.
Okay,
so
Betsy's up 3-1.
Right, depends on how you make it. All right, 3 points. This is a big one. Which one has more calories? We're talking alcoholic drinks now. A bottle of Sam Adams Jacko pumpkin beer or Angry Orchard's apple crisp cider. Which one has more calories?
Go ahead, Bets.
More calories, I'm going cider.
Good call. You're absolutely right. I would have thought it'd be the beer.
Okay.
Fitbit says it has 210. Sam Adams has 150.
Think about how much sugar is in
Yeah, there's got to be a lot of. Okay, so I got to get 4 and 5 right to win.
You do. Well, Mo didn't give me any extra ones other than an extra one. So this will be it. We're going to go 4 points on this.
Okay, so I can win.
So you can win. All right, ready?
Okay.
Which has more protein, chili or pot roast? Jay for the win.
Oh, come on.
I'm going pot roast.
No.
No.
Chili.
And why?
Chili.
Why?
Because the beans.
Right, Betsy. Oh, I got the leg lamp.
I'm ridiculously excited about this right now.
Nice work on that.
When does that truck driving school start?
Hopefully pretty soon.
Tonight, but it's 3 to 5 months till she has her CDL. So, congratulations.
Beep, beep.
All right, Betsy wins.
I think it's this. I think it's 12 o'clock. You got to pull it.
want to wish a special RTA driver a very happy retirement in today's show is something good. Bus operator Godwin McNeil finished his last ride yesterday after 45 years of service with the RTA here in Cleveland. McNeil pulled his coach into the Louis Stokes Windermere station on Euclid Avenue and had a surprise from transit police. Look at the dance and staff who cheered him on, wishing him well in retirement. Get this, over the last 45 years, he's driven more than 1 million miles.
Wow.
He has a perfect driving
He's got the greatest nickname of all time, too. Good Time.
Yeah.
Like, when that's your nickname.
You want to be on a bus with a driver named Good Time. You know you're going to
really
get there.
do.
And he probably has the horn.
Yeah. We're out of time. Back tomorrow at 5.
We are, certainly. I was really way too excited about that chili thing. Anywho, What Matters Most with Russ and Lena starts right now. Kind of embarrassed about that.
Now at 6, paint protest.
We're not going away. We're going to help you do the right thing.
Sherwin-Williams under fire again by a group that says it's being left out of the company's major expansion project. Sarah Schuckman will have the story. Also, Lordstown in limbo.
We're looking to a brighter future.
There's a new twist for the company, running an electric truck plant at the old GM site. Amani Abraham explains the impact that move could have on Northeast Ohio. Down to the wire. We'll have the latest on a political fight in Washington that threatens to shut down the government at midnight. And in short supply, from school lunches to school bus drivers to truck drivers, we'll tell you what's being done to slow down the shortages during the pandemic.
From the WKYC studios, this is What Matters Most.
And good evening. Thanks for being with us. I'm Russ Mitchell.
And I'm Lena Lai. As plans for Sherwin-Williams' new downtown headquarters move forward, the Black community says it is being left behind.
Today, groups, including one of the nation's oldest civil rights organizations, protested outside the company's downtown offices, asking that the Black Contractors Group get a seat at the table. Sarah Schuckman reports.
They've ignored us. We're not going away.
Sherwin-Williams hopes to break ground before 2022 on its new downtown headquarters. But who will do the work of building $600 million of new construction in Cuyahoga County? That's still being questioned.
We demand equal rights. We know Sherwin-Williams says they want to do the right thing. Yes, sir. By doing the right things means when there's 9 partners on this project, you got to have at least one that's Black.
Members of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference and others are protesting the lack of diversity in the list of 9 initial partners announced last year. Earlier this month, Sherwin-Williams confirmed 5 other companies involved, all either minority or female-owned. Contracts the company says are worth millions. They say more minority involvement is coming. But for the SCLC, it's not enough.
They settled for giving us pennies and crumbs and peanuts. And we're talking about $600 million. And the $600 million, you're going to give us $2 million? That's what we've been doing all along.
For a project awarded more than $100 million in public incentives, the group feels there's too much taxpayer money at stake to be left out.
We're not going to be greedy. We're happy for everything we get. We just think that at the top of the tier, at the managerial level, we should be included.
In response, Sherwin-Williams shared a statement today saying, in part, these protests are not helpful to the diverse communities they claim to support. Instead of applauding these successful minority contractors, the protests appear to be aimed at furthering the baseless claims of a disgruntled firm that did not get the contract they wanted.
What do we want? Equal rights.
The Black Contractors Group says Sherwin-Williams walked away.
They broke off for some unknown reason. They broke our negotiation. We want to get back to the table. We want to discuss with them and work with them, not against them. We're all together in this town. We want this town to be great. We want them to stay. We want them to do everything that they're doing, but include us.
A Sherwin-Williams spokesperson would not confirm the value of any contracts already awarded, saying they have not been publicly disclosed. But the company says there will be more opportunities and is directing minority contractors who want to be involved to get online with their Building Our Future project and register us using an online form.
Okay, what is the next step in this process?
Well, we know the company will seek final design approval, which happens from the city of Cleveland in November, and then they say they are on track to break ground before the end of the year.
Okay, Sarah Schuckman, thank you. We are now one step closer to avoiding a federal government shutdown at midnight. This afternoon, the House approved a short-term spending bill to keep the government funded through December 3rd. The Senate gave its thumbs up this morning. The measure now goes to President Biden, who is expected to sign it.
Lordstown Motors is reportedly near a deal to sell its plant. Bloomberg reporting that Taiwan's Foxconn technology group is buying the former General Motors factory. And Manny Abraham brings us more on reaction from the village and the hope for a brighter future.
We're in the wait-and-see mode.
Lordstown Mayor Arno Hill is optimistic, but details into the deal are limited, and Lordstown Motors is not commenting, at least at this point. But Bloomberg today reporting that there's a deal in the works. Taiwan's Foxconn is close to buying the Lordstown Motors plant.
We look forward to sitting down, if this does go through, and, I'm not sure whether they're going to ink it tomorrow or ink it next week or next month or next year, but, we're very optimistic.
Foxconn is the world's largest electronics manufacturer and a supplier to companies like Apple. It had previously announced a $10 billion investment in Wisconsin to make TV screens, but that deal didn't go through. For Lordstown Motors, it's been a bumpy ride. They've been dealing with a number of issues since the company bought the former General Motors plant 2 years ago. Less than a week after Lordstown Motors said the company may not be able to continue operations, the CEO and CFO resigned from their leadership roles. Later in July, the company did get a boost by announcing a private equity firm had invested $400 million.
If you take the checklist, funding was probably at the top, and looks to me like that funding issue has been resolved if this goes through.
Back in June, Lordstown Motors gave a tour of its plant and rides and prototypes of its endurance trucks. Officials said they would plan to begin building trucks in September and deliver the first ones to commercial customers in December. Now, no word yet on the value of the deal, but in Bloomberg's latest report, official news of the deal could come as early as this week.